Merhaba, and welcome back to the Ottoman campaign in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Monthly balance is down to minus 2 million now. It seems as if it's going down every time I check in on it. So we're gonna have to momentarily reduce the tech budget even more. I'd like to expand my shipyards too, but that'll have to wait, I guess. We still don't have any penalties from transport losses because it hasn't gone below 100%. But it's gone down. It's not 200% anymore. So that's not optimal. China has these 3 different task forces here in the Adriatic. They've been striking my ports. So, since the threat of a Dutch invasion is it's not gone entirely yet, they still have this task force here, but it's diminished. We might even get a peace treaty with them. Can I offer them one? No, not this turn. But maybe. We'll see. Anyway, I've sent some ships up here. Gonna deal with them. We're gonna see what kind of battles we get. The war does continue. The German Empire. No, not on unfavorable. Okay, these 2 torpedo boats came out of repair, instantly went back to where their task force used to be, which is now where the Dutch fleet is. Seems of the 3 battles I set up with China, I only got 1 with a torpedo boat. So we're gonna play this out, and then it's nighttime. That's not good for my accuracy, especially when I'm kind of low on ammo. After this, I have to check where those Chinese ships went to. There's the torpedo boat, and I'm already scoring a hit. It's invisible now. Let's take a look at the Chinese torpedo boat. You got 300-meter torpedoes, so they are short-range torps. Set those guns to save. Maybe maybe they're gonna cease fire until it's out of the smoke screen. It doesn't cease fire. At least we're hitting. At least I can probably get to within a kilometer pretty safely. And turn off those guns until the smoke screen is gone. .5 inches at 0 quality. Got very close there, but not close enough to launch. Not with 300-meter range. There we go, finally some flooding and engine damage. Gonna slow it down. Well, I fixed it. That was the last of the 6-inch ammo gone. Now it's down to the 3-inch guns, which are also not hitting much. We're hitting something sometimes. More flooding, more engine damage. They just keep fixing it. Maybe not now though, as I'm getting like repeated hits. Is this just gonna end with the torpedo boat surrendering? Maybe. At almost 40% crew loss. I think that's gonna be what kills it. If not this flooding. There we go, surrendered. That was a lot of ammo wasted. And at least we got it. That was an expensive torpedo boat, 2.3 million. It's like 50% more expensive than one of mine. Let's see, where did China go? These two torpedo boats need to link up with someone. Like this force here, maybe. No Chinese fleets hiding behind any of these. They are sending a fleet here. It's gonna arrive in 4 turns. Germany, I don't know where they are headed. Come on now. If I can engage this German battleship with torpedo boats. I'm not sure if I'm actually going to get that battle, but maybe. Okay, since the Chinese are gone, we're gonna assemble the fleet back down here again. You can actually go to Constantinople. They've had a month off from fighting. Monthly balance now in the green again. Or in the black, I guess it's called. Turn that up. 14 months. Transport capacity is climbing again. Blocking off the Suez was probably a good idea here. But these will now have to go and hunt a battleship. So that's going to open it up again. Anyway, let's Turgut Reis, 7 months. And the 2 new armored cruisers, 6 months. Right. Onwards. Ugh, come on. Of course, that German battleship slipped past. I'm gonna put one of these light cruisers in in the port here. They can actually defend against those strikes from random torpedo boats. Where did the Dutch go now? They're going home. Fine, let's get you out of the war. These ships will have to get into port for some resupply action, and then we're gonna wait for the Chinese to arrive here, and we're gonna have a larger battle. They are still heading there, right? They were last I checked. Yeah. And hopefully they're gonna be low on fuel when they arrive. Well then, let's see what happens. And the wars continue. I'm losing a lot of money because everything is being repaired. And I'm over the shipbuilding capacity, that's right. That is very expensive. There we go, that's better. Yeah, repairs are going to be done in a month. 2 months for a couple of them, but mostly they're going to be ready next month. And then we can send them out to fight the Chinese. Have I not blocked this off? There's that German battleship again. My new torpedo boats are ready. All the refits are ready. I should get a decent payout for this war. And hopefully we can then deal with the Chinese and get some victory points there before the government decides that, no, there's a peace treaty now. Alright then. One more month. The war continues. Which port are they striking? Avlona. Okay. This fleet is pretty much ready. Leave the two TB90s behind. I'm gonna detach a light cruiser. And the two TB90s here. Deal with that Chinese light cruiser. Okay, they're no longer going through here. That's good. Finances are once again growing, so we can bump this up to 91%. That's not bad. We're getting the Mark II 10-inch guns in 8 months. They should be ready for those two new armored cruisers. Oh, almost. Okay, these are still suspended. That's why I had a lot of money left over, of course. Goldfish brain. I'm gonna unsuspend the battleship. The cruisers can wait another month. Peace treaty. Yes. Not with Germany. Booming China. There we go. Finally getting a battle. And the weather is crappy. Luckily I got 2 torpedo boats, and torpedoes don't care about weather. First strike coming up. Looks like we're gonna get a couple hits here. 2 good hits. And from the other side as well. Looks like they're gonna miss though, because the cruiser slowed down a lot. No, one is gonna hit. But we're gonna take a lot of torpedoes in return. was not optimal, but let's have you load AP. Get you closer. What kind of armor do you have, China? 3.7. No, 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 no. Stop it. 90-8 is launching another couple of torpedoes. Stationary torpedo battery. Of course, they're not flooding any new sections. We're going to make sure 90-2 actually hits the bow. 90-8 sinks. That was probably from my own fire. Another couple torps. Which of course didn't do anything. Let's turn those off. And actually try and launch from the front. There we can try. Just hope it actually launches. I have to turn them on and off again. Okay, we're gonna have to turn around and try with the other tubes. Well, there we go, finally. But that angle is bad. Well, that's a hit and flooding though, so that's the end of it. Right. I'm sure that torpedo boat would have survived if it didn't take a bunch of friendly fire. It would be nice if I could like get some ships with a bigger control circle so I can block this off. I wouldn't have to have them sailing through the Red Sea. But I guess here is the Chinese Navy. We're gonna fight them first. Then turn back and deal with the Germans. Put them here, actually. The Germans will have a decent-sized fleet. I'm gonna have to drop that down again and restart construction. Put you in Aden. Actually, we're gonna put some torpedo boats here as well. Stop it. There. That means this light cruiser alone will be blocking off the Suez. I was hoping the entire squadron would get engaged by maybe some lone battleships or something, but that was just not happening. I think I get more mileage out of the torpedo boats if they are stationed in ports. They can actually defend against the port strikes, which is what the enemy is farming victory points off of. All right, 4 more months, and I get a new battleship. That will be nice. This is not a huge task force. This should be a decent win. But first, we do get a peace treaty with the Dutch. I cannot take any other provinces. It's only 165 million. Like, do I want to take any other ships? I guess a couple more armored cruisers, not too bad. They're not expensive either. So yeah, and the rest I'm just gonna take as money. These are both Flaming class, okay. Let's take some lynxes as well, just because I need more ships, like right now. Take the cheapest ones. There we go. I have received 4 light cruisers and 2 heavy cruisers. That's a nice little expansion of my navy. Chinese battleship worth 42 million. That's more than mine. 4 single... No, wait. Not 4 single. Well, 4 single 11.4s and 2 double 11.4s. I think I know which hull this is. Alright. Yeah, I think that's the turret ship. Alright, China. I got some new torpedo boats. TB-94 class. They should be easier to use than the older TB-90s. Slow you right the way down. I am being spotted. Their armored cruiser obviously has better tower spotting than me. Yeah, that is the turret ship. Armor-wise, you're not that good. Yeah, basically you're not that good. I think I want to have the torpedo boats deal with the battleship. And my battleships can deal with the enemy armored cruiser. Which is also rather unique. "300-meter torpedoes." They got something in the smoke here. Which might be enemy light cruiser. Maybe. And of course it makes the one in the back the squadron leader, so that's not gonna work. So you're just gonna have to be 2 singles. Well, that is an enemy torpedo boat. And all the torpedoes hit the enemy torpedo boat instead of the battleship. Well, almost all. Got one on the battleship, actually. We're gonna get a couple more on the battleship, I think. I want to get the light cruiser as well. And then what they what did I do now? Not you. You. Coming this way. And what did you do? No, no, no. You're not gonna follow the cruisers, dummy. Yeah, that one torpedo was enough to seriously cripple the Chiyun. Here's another 5. Or I thought there was going to be another 5, but apparently just 1. Because the tubes are stuck. And 4 more. Good. Now that is the end of the battleship. can send something to deal with that torpedo boat, I guess. 3 torpedoes on the enemy light cruiser. Now we get some more. Maybe. Good job with the torpedoes this time. I don't think those torps will hit. No. I get a flash fire on the enemy torpedo boat. Might have to use torpedoes on the enemy armored cruiser as well. You know what, you can, or maybe I don't have to. Of course, this guy scores a pen on one of mine. Enemy torpedo boat sinks, so light cruisers will not be needed. I was going to send them to deal with the torpedo boat. Uh, 90-4, almost reloaded. In fact, we can turn our guns off now. I don't want to be hitting my own torpedo boats. Okay, 90-4. Five torps in the water. -2, you can turn your torps off until you got a better angle. Whether or not they're going to be needed. I don't think they will. There they go, for good measure. And then we got 2 armored cruisers brawling with an enemy light cruiser. Hopefully this will make the enemy stop raiding my ports. If I can just equalize the victory points with China, I can take any peace treaty I'm offered. We'll score some bow hits. At least we're hitting now. 70% chance to hit. You'd think that would translate to 3 out of 4 hits, but it doesn't. How about you fire HE and we can pen that 4 belt, which is only 0.7 inches. Sturdy little light cruiser. At least most of my task force still has ammunition remaining, so they can fight the Germans next month. There we go, that's the kill. Nice. Alright. Taking a little bite out of the Chinese Navy. A battleship, an armored cruiser, a light cruiser, and a torpedo boat. That's one of each. That's 10,000 victory points. That brings us almost up to par. Italy, we're friendly enough. Now this force, almost entirely intact, with decent amount of ammo. You can go fight the Germans. I'd say we're, well, they got an extra battleship, but they don't have a lot of torpedo boats, and I do. And these new torpedo boats actually do seem to work as intended. Speaking of new ships, oh yeah. Some of those Dutch ships, at least one, is actually in need of repairs. I thought I picked the ones that were in good shape. And they're kind of spread out all over. That's fine, I guess. Do I need to do anything to fix them? Not really, not that I know. Actually, the Soembing does need a fix because I've got Mark II 900 guns. And it only has Mark 1, so I'm going to save first. And we're going to give it a quick refit. That's what it looks like. That's, you know, that's not bad. Oh, refit, of course. Better engine. Same speed as my other cruisers. Some parts are badly placed. 1.9s? I guess. You can take those off. There we go. 9-inch guns are now Mark II. Just make sure they actually traverse. I've been fooled before. Yeah, no, they just don't fit. Yeah, they do. There we go. Back to 1 month. Alright, anything else I can do while I'm here? Better HE. It's better. Rangefinder is better. Reinforced bulkheads was not possible, but now I can't take them off. So we're gonna have to do something to shed some weight. I could reduce the deck armor, that doesn't matter anyway. And there we go. That is the refit of the Dutch cruiser. Not a lot of change. It's just gonna get overweight if I start messing with anti-flood and anti-torp. So we're gonna keep it as is. Alright. Gonna refit Delft. And the other one is it's being repaired, Amelia. There we go. All the way down to 59%. But at least the transport capacity is climbing. And we should get a war with a peace treaty with Germany after sinking this task force. If the battle goes well. Torpedo boat is being repaired. Lynx class light cruiser is here. How about I send out 2 light cruisers, 2 of the Dutch ones, and see if we can deal with that armored cruiser. Where are the other ones? Burgas and Basra. Three light cruisers with torpedoes. They should be able to deal with an armored cruiser, I think. But that's it for now. We got a big fight set up for the next one. Finally fighting the Germans. And if I'm lucky, we're gonna get the get a couple of Chinese ships as well. Why is China so dead set on sailing into here? Are they fighting anyone else? They're fighting Italy and Scandinavia. Sure would be nice if Italy would do something about the Chinese coming into the Mediterranean. But that's how it is. Goodbye, and take care.